Hello friends, today we are going to find GCD of n comma n plus 1 and LCM of n comma n plus 1, where GCD means greatest common divisor and LCM means least common multiple. Now first we find GCD of n and n plus 1. So let n be any positive integer. N be any positive integer. And suppose this D is equal to greatest common divisor of n and n plus 1. That is D is GCD of n and n plus 1. So by definition of GCD, D is greatest common divisor. So D is common divisor also, common divisor of n and n plus 1. This implies D is common divisor of n and n plus 1. So this implies D divides n and D also divides n plus 1 because it is common divisor. So it divides both the numbers. Now D divides n plus 1. This implies D divides n into minus 1 plus n plus 1 into 1. Now why this is? So recall one result of divisibility. If A divides B and A divides C, then A must divides Bx plus Cy for any xy belongs to Z. अगर A B को डिवाइड कर रहा है, C को भी डिवाइड कर रहा है, then A must divide all possible linear combination of B and C. So that is A divide Bx plus Cy. So here D divides n plus 1. So D divides n into x. But what is x? Here x is minus 1 plus n plus y into y. What is y? Value of y is 1. So this implies D divides, now n into minus 1 means minus n plus 1. So this implies D divides 1. Now D divides 1. So what are the divisors of 1? Divisors of 1 are 1 and minus 1. So this implies either D is equal to 1 or D is equal to minus 1. But D is greatest common divisor and D is positive. By definition of GCD, GCD is positive number. So D is equal to 1. This implies D is equal to 1. We cannot take D equal to minus 1 because in definition of GCD we have a positive number D is called as GCD and satisfying some conditions. So D is equal to 1. But what is D? D is nothing but GCD of n and n plus 1. So GCD of n and n plus 1 is equal to 1. Now to find LCM. Now to find LCM of n and n plus 1. So note that GCD of n and n plus 1 into LCM of n comma n plus 1 is equal to mod of n into n plus 1. Now why? So because GCD of AB into LCM of AB is equal to mod of A into B. Okay. So using this result we get GCD of n plus 1 into LCM of n and n plus 1 is equal to n into n plus 1, modulus of n into n plus 1. So this implies now GCD of n and n plus 1 is 1. So 1 into LCM of n and n plus 1 is equal to, now n is positive integer, so n plus 1 is also positive, so their product is positive. So mod of n into n plus 1, this is same as n into n plus 1. So this implies LCM of n and n plus 1 is equal to n into n plus 1. Okay. So if you have any doubt, you can ask me in comment section. Thank you.